The devil calls out to his followers and beckons them forth to go and find those he does not deem fit. The anti-spawnist 218, you win. I have come back and I have a combiner for you, but it'll be on my terms. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another ++ Transformers video. Today, I will be reviewing a combiner, although he is sort of a pseudo-combiner. And, while I'm doing that, I will be trying out a new format of video where I combine both my ++ review video and my how to build video in one. Please let me know how you feel about this change in the comments down below. It will probably be longer videos, but they will be uploaded all at the same time, and you will see everything in one video. So, definitely give me feedback on this. So, the combiner I am making is named Mix Up. Now, you might be asking, well, where is he? He's clearly not right here. And that's where the new format comes into play. I will be building them first, and then I will transform them after the fact. So, let's get ready to build. First, we will start off by making his two smallest components. Now for this, all you will need are a couple of blues, a couple of grays, some black, and some transparent white. Not too bad. So let's start off with the first one. So, let me get a couple of blues out here. Make this configuration first. Then let's put on another one right there. It doesn't really matter what blue you choose. I chose the cornflower looking blue for my version. In this version, I'm using more of the, I think it's ocean blue, but just make sure you have a lighter blue and a darker blue. Put a translucent white right there. All right, that is that out of the way. Next, let's build the body. So the body, if you remember from some of my other videos, make a barrel. And what I mean by that is 4 pieces in this configuration like this. All right, next, put on 1 piece right there and 1 piece right there. And that is the main body of your little guy. And in fact, you can go ahead and attach the upper part just like so. Let's focus that up. There we go. All right. Let's add 2 black pieces for the back wheels. And as I come upon finishing this and do the final part, you will come to see what he is. Pop another blue right there, using light blue for this. And the final section, you'll use, what is that? 5 light gray. Once again, use whatever color you want. Silver works pretty well. If you have smoke, I definitely recommend that. But you want to put it in that configuration right there and close it up on the sides. And then put it right at the front on that hinge right there. And you have the first component. This is a little, oh, what are they called? They're the guys that flatten asphalt and concrete. But yeah, he turns into one of those, a roller of some sort. Goodness, I can't remember what it's called. But that is the first component. I think it is a pretty handy little guy right here. You can definitely see Steamroller? Steamroller, I think it's Steamroller. Yeah, he looks like a little guy, and I like that. But it doesn't really matter that he's too technically detailed because he is one of, if not the smallest part of my big guy here. Let's stop rambling here. Get some blues out here. So, using some more blue, we're gonna try and match the colors here. So, first step, take 1 and put right on the corner right there. And let's duplicate that on the other side. Just like so, as you can see here. There we go. All right. Similar to before, put a translucent white here. This will be angled out in the finished vehicle mode. And a blue on the back right there. So, just like that. All right, we can put this aside for now. That will be the top. Okay, what we're gonna do next, grab 4 black pieces. These will be on the side. Just make 2 small formations just like this. And these will go on either side, just like so. Next, take 3 light grays. I'm really leaving all these light blue pieces I put down here for the last bit. And this will go right there. Now, the keen mind might be able to deduce what he turns into, and that wonder will be answered right now. So let's have 6, oh, I don't need one of these, 6 light blue pieces right here. And what you're gonna do is make 2 of these T shapes first, just like that, and another one just like that. So for one of these, put 1 piece just in the crotch right there. All right, put 1 right there, and finally go ahead and connect it just like so in the back. Now we will assemble all of it. Put these gray pieces on the front part just like that. Take this one, and on this peg right here in this port, you're going to slide this right into place. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, if it's not obvious what this is already, you'll see in just a second here. Put these 2, or the treads, on the sides. And you have a little bulldozer. Oh, I think he's really cute. And he pairs very handily with the little steamroller back there. Now, we have 3 more aspects of this robot to make. And let's start off with number 3. I don't know why I keep building it up like that, because I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Okay, first things first, 6 black pieces. If you know anything about me, you know I love making wheels. So let's put some wheels right there. We're gonna do 2 of these, and then 2 of them are gonna be just by themselves for now. We can leave those just right there. All right, I use the kind of Savannah looking tan. You're gonna need 4 of those. Normal tan works pretty well. Peach might be a little weird, but it would work. Or if you just have some normal brown, that should work too. But I digress. Connect these 3 just like so. Make sure there's a little bit of a curve right there. Don't go too overboard, but a little curve is nice. And then slot that one right on the back, just like so. And then you will take your black pieces and put them just like so on the sides. And there you have your second little build. All right, let's get 1 translucent white out here. And the last things you should need are the 2 blues that I used for these 2 guys here. So let's start out with the darker of the 2, which you will need 5 pieces. So let's grab 5 of those, just like so. Make another wheel shape and put 1 just like that, right in the center. This will be the main configuration here, and this, where you put 1 right there, and you put a last one just right there, perpendicular. That will be the joint. And what do I mean by joint? Oh, you'll see. All right, now 6 light blues, please, and thank you. Now, once again, I always say this in my videos, but definitely feel free to do whatever colors you would like. In fact, if you send me photos, I would love to see your versions of my characters. Let's start off with a wheel shape there and put 1 on the bottom. Wonder what I could call this. Next, take 1 and put it on the bottom, just like so. Now at this point, we can connect this piece right there. You can see there where it connects, and there's that. And let's go ahead and use that translucent white and put it right on the front, just like so. All right, we're getting to the final stages here. Take your wheels, and on either side, you see this little port here, this gap, put it right in there. Give you a top-down view so you can see that, bottom. And let's do that on the other side. Just like so. There you go. Now, let's take your back here and put it right there. Smooth everything out, make sure it's all lined up. And finally, this is a little advanced technique for all you newer builders or those curious. You can fit 2 pieces on 1 peg, just like that. Just make sure it's nice and centered. And that is what we will do for the front of this little tarped Jeep. I quite like this guy, and he will go on this side. All right, time for the last of the 4 smaller sections. And this is probably my favorite of the small sections. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make 4 more wheels. I got 2 right there, and I can make 2 more right here and right here. So those are your 4 wheels that you're gonna use. Okay, similar to the Jeep I just made, you're going to make this configuration. Just 4 of these blue pieces, just like so. You're gonna need 1 more blue piece. So let's put that there. Next, grab 2 of your sepia tans. You're kind of, man, I don't know. They're kind of caramely almost. And let's put those together in another wheel shape. Really one of the handiest shapes out there. Put that right there. And that will be a little seat. For what? Who knows? We'll see. And a blue right on the back there shall finish out those 2 colors. All right, let's move on to the front section where we will make yet another of these shapes out of the light blue. This time you will need 4 more blues instead of just 3, because this one does not have a translucent white. So let's mirror on both sides like that. And we're going to have 2 more on the front, but this time, instead of doing the little half gap right there, you're gonna put them right there, as you can see. So we can connect these right here. Make sure these 2 tabs go into their respective ports, just like so. And make sure it's nice and even. Don't want it crumpled up. We can take the first set of wheels and put them in these gaps. Push them back so that the front section has some room to breathe here. Oh, I lied. You don't need to connect these together. In fact, you only need 1 more black. So, this section's a little strange, but I assure you it will make sense. Make 2 L's, just like so. Here's the second one, just like that. And what you're gonna do is connect at the top here, or I guess bottom if it's an L, another black piece, just like so, as you can see here. And do the same on the other side. Make sure it is on the upper part where the other one is, kind of making this nice chevron kind of shape. And what you're gonna do is take this port right here, see how it's sticking down, connect that to this peg at the back section here, just like so. And that will give you the back wheels. And the final part of this segmented tractor, as it turns out, is just a nice little piece of detail. This really builds the entire thing in my mind. A little gray piece right there to emulate a smokestack. And I love that little guy right there. I think he works beautifully. All right, it's time for the final section of my big guy. And this one does not have any of the same colors except for the black and the gray. So, again, switch it up if you want, or make them the same colors. For this one, he is the main build, so he will be a lot more intensive. But I'm sure all of you can follow along. So, first things first, we want to do something kind of strange. We're gonna make a hexagon. Take 3 gray pieces and 3 red pieces. Let's get 3 of these out here. 3 more in red, just like that. So what you're gonna do is alternate, just like that, where you build them in a straight line, kind of zigzagging them as you go. So that's fine and all, as you can see there. But what we're going to do is we're going to slowly bend them and keep bending them. And it's okay that they haven't connected yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to keep bending them until they connect in a hexagon, just like so. Now be careful not to bend them too much. Don't press too hard. Sometimes they can collapse pretty easily. Although we are about to build an intersection that should stabilize it pretty well. There's your little hexagonal prism, if you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take let's say 3 more gray pieces and 1 more red piece. So let's do 3 of those and 1 of those. All right, connect 2 of these gray pieces just like so. And what you're going to do is on this port, or this peg right here and this port right here, you're going to connect those as much as you can and slide this full brick just inside here. Come on, there we go. All right. Just like so, and you can see on this side, it's in there. You can make sure to straighten everything out to make it just look a little better, or you can collapse it in like that. Okay, come on, we're so close. We're so close. This is easily the most finicky part about building him, but I assure you the rest of it is a lot easier. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe that comes out a little more. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. There's your guy right there. All right, what you're gonna do with this is you're gonna take these 2 pieces, connect them just like that, and put that on there. Make sure it's the opposite side that that one has, so you can see just from the side here, that's what it looks like. All right, now forget about that for now. The next step, let's build the kind of body strut. So let's grab a few more gray pieces. I will need 1, 2, 3. I'll need 3 gray pieces, just like that. Now I chose the same blue as this and red. I chose that blue and red, but you can choose whatever colors you want. This is simply for flair, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. And then I have, 4 white pieces. So you have that right there. So what you're gonna do is grab a white piece and a gray piece, put them together like that. That's step 1. Next, gray piece right in the center right there. You can see kind of in a chain link kind of format right there. And put 2 white pieces just like that. As you can see, let's do a gray piece right there. All right, I put red on this side and I put blue on this side. And then finally cap it off at the top with a white piece. So your final configuration should look like this. And in fact, you can go ahead and connect this at the bottom just like that and angle it down just a little bit. All right, next up, let's make 2 wheels. You know the drill. 4 black pieces, just like that, and just like that. All right, we'll need 4 white pieces, 2 for each side. Then we'll need 2 gray pieces, 1 for each side. On the wheels, please follow along. Connect 2 white pieces, just like so, on either side of that, and a gray piece right there. Now let's do the same here. There, there, there. And finally, connect these on this peg in that port, just like so. All right, now that we've made the back section, let's start on the front section. So for this, you're gonna need 5 white pieces and 1 translucent white. So let's get those out and about. 4, 5. Okay, make another wheel section. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with that little formation. It's very helpful. If you're ever building anything for yourself, feel free to try it. And we just make this little configuration here, as you saw, and, dropped it. Finally, let's put that right there. And we're gonna put this just like that at an angle. Make sure to keep that in mind. All right, next, grab 2 grays. Well, might as well, let's just grab all of them. We need 6 left for the entire thing. So if you grab 6 of them, you should be set. All right, and what you're gonna do with the first one is take it, and then also take a yellow piece. In this case, I'm using mustard yellow, which is one of my favorite colors in Plus Plus. Oh my goodness, I need more mustard. And let's put those 2 together over the yellow to make that. And with this piece, right in the little nook here, on this top part, connect it just like so. All right, taking this, what you're gonna do is on this peg right here, put the back of this right over top of it. There you go. So, essentially, it should look like that from inside. And I say inside because we still have a little bit more to go. So what we're gonna do is make 2 more wheels. And I have them right here. And you're gonna need 4 white pieces and the last gray pieces that you have. So, yeah, all the gray pieces you have. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do that. Just like so, making kind of a C shape. Put this here. Now it is worth mentioning, if you keep the plus plus on the inside, so it's smooth on the outside like I do, it is important to note that I have the plus plus logo facing the bottom here. And let's put a white just like so. And we're gonna do the same with the other ones right here. So just do this and this and put one here and just make sure it's mirrored, of course. All right, we have our 2 pieces here. And what we're gonna do is, let me just connect one of these so you can see where it goes. Just right there. You can see on the side here, it looks like that. And let's connect the other one. On this inner part right here, you have a little rib, and we're gonna put that in this side here. In addition, the peg on the outside of the yellow will go into the wheel, keeping it even more secure. Just like that. And there is your final little piece of mix-up. And there you have the alt modes of mix-up. Like I said at the beginning, he is not exactly a true combiner. Instead, he is very inspired by a video by Student Scissors I recently watched. I will include a link in the description. His name is Gridlock, and he works very similar to how I've made Mix-Up, where the individual components turn into a giant robot, although the individual components do not transform themselves. So I'm sorry if you were expecting a full combiner. I have one that is very old that I might do a video on, but he's very messy and very clunky. Should I do a video on him? Let me know. So, first thing you're going to want to do with this guy here is what I always do. Take these parts here and fold them out. This both gets them out of the way and primes them for transformation. And what we'll do first is the transformation part. Take this part and do a little slide down here. I feel like a lot of my smaller transformers have this cheeky thing where instead of using hinges, like what I just did here, this guy here, they kind of slide, which some might think of as cheating, but I think of as the only way you can make Transformers out of plus plus blocks. So, with that out of the way, let's move that right down here. First, on the upper body is I fold these parts out just like that, as you can see there, and I will do that on the other side as well. Just like so. This part is the finicky part on him, and I mean that in the sense that if you do it wrong, it could explode. And only really the top part. It's not that scary. And the way I do it, you're going to disconnect the yellow and the tire. And the way I do it is I grab it like this. So you have one thumb behind the tire, one finger on top, and then the other side you have one thumb where the other one is, and on top of the head, and just pry it open, just like that. Just a simple pry. Anybody on the East Coast? Let me know how your clams over there taste. And we have it out like that. And we'll just go and finish this side real quick. Fold it down like that, and put that right in there. Kind of just flipping it around from the top to the bottom. Let's do the same on the other side. Sorry if it's not in frame, but I hope you're getting the gist of it. Let's do that. Once again, slide that down there. Move that down, just like so. And swivel that in. Not swivel, hinge that in. And there's that part done. In the final sections, once again, a little cheeky. Take the head, put it down where the back part on this one is actually resting in that hinge now. And you can leave this like this if you want, but what I prefer to do is disconnect the windshield from the back of the head, swivel this whole thing up, and then move it down just like that. And that just kind of gets it out of the way. In the final section here, you're going to take the actual mixer part, just kind of bend it up like that, and take these two white pieces on the back and flatten them out along the back side. And there is the body of Mix-Up. And I really enjoy how this came out. You got the mixer on the back, you've got a nice head, clearly defined chest, and wheels for each of the connecting bits. And I think he's very defined. I think he's got a nice build. Next, let's start off by transforming the arms. Now we will not connect these until all 4 limbs are transformed, but let's start out with my little segmented tractor here. You are going to take the front, slide those up, and connect them together. This is a really nice way of making hands, hint hint, if you really ever want to. And then what I do is I slide the wheels just down like that, and let's do the same on the other side, and that just gets it a little bit more out of the way of the shoulder. Speaking of which, let's take this section. We'll get my hair out of the camera. Hinge that up, hinge that out, and let's just make sure everything here is nice and squared off. So you have that. And now at this point you can take this and hinge it down. So that's your shoulder right there. And I did kind of get lazy here, but really not lazy. I kind of just had to make do. And what you're going to do is take all of this section and just kind of fold it in on itself. Just like so. It doesn't really matter how you get this, just so long as it fits in robot mode. And honestly, it kind of looks like either a wing or a piece of a cloak that's just hanging down. But in the end, you have this nice arm here. And let's put him there. And let's do the same on the other side with my little Jeep. So the first step of this one, you're actually going to take the windshield, and because he does not have 2 connection points here, you're going to make that second connection with the windshield itself. Put it just like that. And it's a little flattened now and much sturdier. So let's do the same thing we did with the tractor and make that hand there. And this guy is a lot more manageable in terms of the clutter. Hinge this up, shift it up like that, and let's bend that down. And then let's just straighten everything out. Move this down just like so. And you kind of have a little thing right there. And that is your other arm done. All right, time for the legs. These guys are really simple. Move him just like that, so those are up. And then what you're gonna do, I generally like placing it on here so I can just flatten it out. But for demonstration's sake, flatten out the treads here. You can push the windshield in as well. And then to make the toes, take this part and hinge it up. Just like so. And that is one of your legs. And the other leg out of the steamroller. Now, admittedly, this guy has a little bit of a weird thing because normally I used to transform him like this, where he would do that, and that is it. But I wanted the black and the gray to actually stay together like that. So instead, what you have to do is flatten these wheels instead of move them all the way down. And where the big crushing wheel on top is, you're going to pry open the sides and move those up. And let's do the same on the other side. Just a nice little hinge. Thank goodness plus blocks are so durable. I'm having a lot of fun just screwing around with these. And those are all your components finished. So now all we have to do is put them together. So take the mix truck here and your first part, the leg. I generally put it on in the back or the front, and then I slowly hinge it down. And there's from the side so you can see that. A nice connection right there. Woo! Let's do the same on the other side. I always start with the legs just because they have a very strong connection as compared to the arms. Also, I can move the camera down a little bit here. There we go. All right, you've got his body right there. And the arms are very simple. All you have to do, where this wheel is right here, and where that little divot right there is, just marry them together like so. And you can see from the top, and you can see from the front. And let's do the same right here. And there you have Mix-Up in his robot mode. So, Mix-Up is pretty cool. I think he's one of my most playable figures that I've ever made. I just went out today with all of his components, and they were very durable. Only one of them broke. If you're wondering, it was the bulldozer and his little claw at the front, and those just came off. So, when they're transformed, very, very durable, very pocket-sized, and they're very fun to transform, if I do say so myself. Especially since when you transform, you get such a cool robot mode, just like this. Even the back is extremely, extremely clean, and you have the nice cement mixer right there. He also stands very well. His proportions are nice. Unfortunately, because he is a combiner, notorious for having very low articulation, he also suffers from that fact. Although, I will show off some of it right now. He can look just barely up and down, not too much. Obviously, he has this very nice arm hinge going out and down. Very nice. And if you want to cheat a little bit, at this hinge on the back, you can disconnect it. And he has an arm that can actually have an elbow, which is very nice. Just make sure you keep everything pretty solid. The hand kind of wiggles. That's to be expected. It's two pieces right there. All right. Now you have the hips here. Let's get the arm out of the way. Hip can go all the way out. As Jobby the Hong would say, which do not watch if you are not of a certain age. He is very fun, but he's a little bit too excited about things. But he has beautiful spread right there. So let's get those back down. And besides some toe wiggling, as you can see here, that's pretty much all of his articulation. Woo!
What Mix-Up lacks in articulation, I think he well and truly makes up for in playability, looks, and durability. Now, this is not the only combiner I will make. In fact, like I said, I have an older one. I actually have 2 incarnations of that older one. But I just don't know if I really want to post him unless I get a lot more technical work done on him. Because, like I said, he is very icky. Mix-Up, on the other hand, is beautiful. And I hope that if you build him and you enjoy him just the same as I did, you will understand exactly why I think he is so fun to play with. That's pretty much all I have for Mix-Up. And I hope you comment down below and say things that you liked, how you thought the format went. If you have any suggestions for vehicle modes or types of Transformers, I generally don't build characters that already exist, but I do make exceptions if they are like recolors or are fairly doable. So yeah, please comment. Let me know how you thought of this. Like if you enjoyed it, and also definitely subscribe because I'm on an upswing. I know I always say I'm coming back, and then I disappear again, but I'm actually in a very good place right now. I'm doing well, and I hope you will enjoy the videos that I make soon. So that's all I have for Mix-Up. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.